Welcome everybody to an exciting episode of Geek Boots Military Nerds. Here at Geek Boots, we like to tell you all about the big green weenie and how it likes to continue to fuck us. Just like when you're tasked to show up to support the unit, but you're really just supporting the support of the unit. That one's a shout out to Obi Walsh, who just got done. Yeah. Yep.
Obi Walsh. Suck a fucking dick, motherfucker. Suck a fucking dick.
Motherfucker!
Suck a fucking dick, motherfucker. Suck a fucking dick.
Motherfucker!
Hey, everybody, pitch in your time off because the support company needs help.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so true.
And in the, I guess, in interest of too soon jokes or what have you, but I'm gonna do a moment real quick. Portraits and Cosplay. Alan sent us a link of something that just recently happened. Fort Polk. A Black Hawk crash just happened, and it killed 1 and wounded 3. So in that spirit, we're going to take a moment for about 5 seconds and give a moment of silence for those troops, and hope them a speedy recovery and the families have blessings. So yeah, he just sent that to me like minutes before we started recording because as a member of Geek Boots, he knows when we record, and I'm like, throw a curveball at me already because, yeah, holy shit.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
We all do it.
Tonight's episode.
Birds do it, bees do it, even educated fleas do it. Let's do it. Let's fall in love.
I was gonna say, let's get the green weenie.
So tonight's episode is just singing. No, I'm just kidding.
Tonight's musical episode.
Oh god.
There always has to be one.
It's Cop Rock all over again.
Oh god. Should we do that? Should we make that a thing? Like our 100th episode or something? Make it a musical?
Like Flash one?
Yes.
Yes.
And just sing intermittently. Oh my god.
Well, it's no use flashing us if you've got an undershirt on. Damn it, me.
That's all you're getting.
Shenanigans, I call shenanigans.
That's all you get from me.
All right.
Balderdash?
I'll take
Can I
that.
call Balderdash?
Dwalderdash or Volderdash?
Yahtzee.
I thought it was with a V.
Yahtzee?
Eureka!
Snorkel.
Words!
Jackal! Jackal! Is it Jackal? Jackal!
Heckle!
Rabble, rabble.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
This is an episode that's just going really great right now. Tonight we're talking about the fact that several of our podcast members went to conventions, and some of us got to finally meet at Disneyland. So that's what we're doing in this episode, is talk about experiences. We're gonna start. We're gonna do this kind of like in a timeline fashion. Me going to California, going first. I just like to state that the reason why I want to do this is so that we don't clickbait a bunch of motherfuckers, because every time I go on Google and open up a new window and it tries to show me ads or blogs or something that, hey, you might be interested in this, every single one of them says, Galaxy Edge sucks, it's going to be torn down, and Disneyland's not going to do it anymore, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wow, Galaxy Edge must fucking suck, right? And then I get there, I'm like, these motherfuckers. Like, Galaxy's Edge is awesome. I recommend it for anybody who loves Star Wars, anybody as a whole. My girlfriend's not really huge on Star Wars, and she absolutely loved it. Her favorite thing was the sound effects of the entire area. It's either music or they play spacecraft flying over your head. And it's loud enough and the acoustics are so nice that every time they did this, my girlfriend would look up like, is there a plane flying overhead?
Is there a TIE fighter?
What's going on?
Because you hear that TIE fighter scream.
Yeah, you really do. Yeah. We were blessed with a certain person who is disabled for getting us ahead of every line. So thank you, Mayan Goddess.
Yeah, let's not rub that in everybody's face. Hey, she's a cripple. She's cool now. Like,
I was talking about your mental disabilities.
Invite her to Disney with you. You're getting all the
I
wine.
mean, if you guys want to cover a Disney trip, I got
Right?
you.
Right?
I got you. I'll be your token friend.
Take a
She's
big
like,
galaxy's edge and
"Just
then
buy
fuck
me
off
some."
the rest of the day.
Yeah.
She's like, buy me food and we'll be good.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Supply me with drinks. Supply me with food. Supply me with fun.
There you go. Yeah, I had a blast. These two amazing human beings treated me. It was a fun experience that I haven't had, honestly, since my active duty days, which is really telling with the unit I was in when I was in the National Guard. Because after we got our breakfast and came out, my goddess was like fucking NCO right on the gate, like, all right, we made an executive decision. This is what we're doing, and we're gonna stick to the letter. And I was just like, I'm like taking a step back, going, all right, well, I know to let her take over. Let's do this. All right, I trust you, and it worked
Sorry,
out.
my like staff NCO came out so hard. Like,
You're fine. It worked out. It really did.
Phrasing.
That's what she said.
nah. By the way, drunk naked guy says, "Hey."
Hey, drunk naked guy.
Does he say that because he's naked, or he says that because he's
Cheers.
drunk?
Both.
Yes.
These are the questions I have.
And I have a promise to keep. Paleta.
Ladies
Post
and
your link.
gentlemen, she is calling her dog, in case you're wondering.
Post your
Okay.
link so I can repost.
Poppers.
It is twitch.tv/mindgoddess_. Yeah, come on.
She
I
says
love
this to the dyslexic child. My brain goes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the timing was perfect that you looked up, because you just hear the flipper pitter patter of the dog foot just running along, and you have a dog, so you're like, is my dog making a noise? What's going on right now?
No, I left my dog out.
Hi puppy.
So that answers the question of who did that.
Yep.
Who?
Who? Anyway, yeah, we had a fantastic time shooting, aside from that one moment when the ivory paint job of everything around me was hitting me in the eyes, and we're trying to get this really badass photo.
That
I'm
was really funny.
That was
It was.
hilarious, but my eyes were like watering, and I'm like, this is gonna look horrible.
Wait, that wasn't at Disneyland. That was at
No, that was at our
that was
photo
the
shoot.
That was at
Yeah.
the photo
Up
shoot,
here.
which I just said. We had a photo shoot, and it was awesome.
Oh, gotcha.
So you're
I
paying
missed that.
attention.
She was eating her crayons, which, speaking
Yum,
of,
yum.
single dad had crayons on him at the right moment in time when we were about to eat dinner, and handed her a little package of crayons. It was fucking great.
It was amazing.
And then, of course, Ruby Echo really warmed up, and I wish Jake was here so that we could tell him that Mayan Goddess had been calling him Justin for several hours until we
Yeah.
finally figured out who the hell she was talking about. And then at dinner, we're sitting there, and Ruby Echo goes, no, it's Justin. She was practically on the floor dead. It was perfect.
Yeah. Fun fact, I'm a derp, ladies and gentlemen.
Says the
Look,
person
we
who
love
can't,
you.
who nobody can say her name.
Right.
That's true.
The guy at the restaurant
She's like,
said
it was a white
great.
boy name. I knew it was a white boy name.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. By the way,
Jake, Justin, John, Jacob, Jingleheimer Schmidt, one of those.
Them white boy names.
well, that was another moment. We our server came by and called her by her name correctly, and we're all just sitting there going. She goes, "By the way, this is how you correctly pronounce my name."
No one
And
ever
I'm-
says it. It was.
Well, okay, hold on. So I'm remembering the chat, and I remember explicitly you said it's like saying Michelle without the M, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can say it like that. It's easy. Now, if you had said this is how to pronounce my name, I would have worked just to the bone to make sure I do not butcher your name.
That's very kind of you. See, at the time, I
I will
didn't
just call you
realize, and I
Hey You
just-
from now on.
See, there you go. So I'm so used to like gentrifying my name so that it's not as daunting. So like when I heard it for real, I was like, what, oh.
Anyway.
My name? That's my name? Oh my god, it's my name.
In conclusion, we had such a fantastic fucking time running around Disneyland. forcing me to get photos with the Captain America at Disneyland because, you know, Inception right there. It's just fucking hilarious. That I was about to board my airplane and I was starting to grow tears because I'm like, I don't want to go. I really don't want to go back home. Like,
Oh, Spider-Man.
fuck
Oh,
no.
wait, sorry.
Too soon. So yeah, it was fantastic. I'm probably gonna make it a reoccurring thing, for sure. Instead of going to Rose City, I'm just gonna go to California every year. Fuck it.
Unless we get invited to do a panel at Rose City, then sorry.
Yeah.
Which is something that, considering panels, that's something I've thought about because Rose City is one of the biggest cons that, at least personally, I know that offers like almost free admission to military and discounts. I've never heard of this with another con, so I'm sitting in the 2 years that I've gone, like there's a lot of World War II, a lot of Vietnam, Iraqi freedom, all these kinds of veterans that are walking around the con and enjoying themselves with their family because they get in free and they can get their families in free. So it's like, you know, if we got to do a panel at Rose City, I wouldn't be upset with it because we probably have an amazing turnout, like realistically. So I'm down for it. But I mean, California with you guys is just so fucking amazing.
Well, yeah.
Duh. Jinx, you owe me so.
I mean, maybe do it another time of the year so I could come. I mean, you know,
We
maybe.
could do
That is true.
trips.
You are always welcome any time of the year. Though I
Yes.
do have two statements from chat. Drunk Naked Guy wants to know what possessed Single Dad Life to Trim, and Evil Smoke wants to know as well.
Apparently, two people haven't been on in for a spell, so
Right,
Actually-
right.
And he
No, I
explained it when it happened.
No, like
yeah,
it's even
and I
like
got another. It is shorter in today.
And then he's done. He's like, watch old episodes. Moving on.
right, we're all sitting here in anticipation for this awesome story, and I trimmed it. That's what happened. Yeah.
Well, the last time this happened, it kind of got jinxed because I felt like I talked about it, but no, I've had 2 phone interviews this week, and I've got a in-person interview on Monday. So this is starting tomorrow. It's going to be very busy for me because I drive down to Anaheim to visit a friend who's letting me crash at their house, letting me stay on their couch because Saturday morning I am going to NostalgiaCon, which is it's all 1980s. It's an entire
Nice.
con about the 1980s. So I'll be at NostalgiaCon during the day, and then I've got to leave there to go to the 40s on the Fantail fundraiser for Mission 22 in Long Beach Saturday night. I'm shooting that, staying in Long Beach, and then driving back down to Anaheim on Sunday morning for another day of NostalgiaCon. And then driving back Sunday night for an interview Monday morning.
I'm tired of
then
just listening to you.
I
do you
feel
want me
like
to do your makeup for your job interview? I'll give you some good lashes and
make you
everything.
look like you're not dead tired from driving 2 hours back and forth all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah,
Which
that
technically
is
is more than 2 hours, but you know what I mean.
Ish.
Yeah, not the way I drive.
Yeah, no, really. Yeah, it's hilarious. Driving with Single Dad, I'm just sitting here, I'll look back at Ruby Echo and I go, he sounds just like me when I drive. This is hilarious. I make comments. Even though that other person can't hear me, I'm just going, don't fucking do it, man. Don't do it. It's not going to happen. Or,
No.
what are you doing?
Y'all would not like to drive with me, like at all.
I would.
Do you swear a
I
lot?
would.
Or...
No, I make excuses for the drivers. Like they cut me off and somebody yells at them, and then I'm like, well, maybe his wife was pregnant.
Oh, I
And then
don't want to
the
ride
person
with you
drive
anymore.
with me, they want to punch me
God.
in the face.
That I don't know. Okay, so this is really
I
bad
don't
taste humor. This makes me think of this one time we were bumper to bumper going to YTC. Not YTC, to Oregon. And we were in the LMTV giant truck for our civilian listeners. And it's bumper to bumper, and we're finally getting to the end of it. And we've been sitting in traffic for 2 whole hours. And my NCO driving goes, if there's not a fucking body dangling out of the fucking windshield covered in blood and glass, I'm going to kill somebody because that traffic was horrible. And I'm just sitting here going, I agree. So now I feel like if you were to make comments about, well, maybe this and this, I'd be like, no, they have to be dead. There's something that has to be really fucked up for them to be driving.
I remember one time I was in traffic and it was like 2 hours to go like a mile and a half, but like we saw smoke as we were getting closer, and it turns out that 2 police cars were racing each other and they crashed into each other, and one of them was on fire, and I was like, this is so messed up, but that was worth the wait. Like,
speaking of sending support to help the support.
Well, about that, what happened was...
That's great. Oh, fuck. Now,
What do you don't need to send backup. There's officers already at the scene. Come on.
They're not firefighters. That's
I mean,
the joke.
they're cordoning off traffic for their accident.
I
They've
guess
got
we'll
the
just get the
phones.
cones out of the car.
They don't need flares because the car's already on fucking fire.
Can we get the cones out of the car? I don't know. My trunk is squished.
No, they're melted by now.
They're kind of melted.
Yeah, that's in the front. Fine.
So anyway, moving on from our fantastic stories of Disneyland hanging out, we'll be doing it again, do some cool stuff with it, because we ended up meeting a couple other veterans along the way. I don't know. I see so many veterans at Disneyland that if we get big enough, I might make a little giveaway to it. Like if we're there, like if you come see us, utter this password you heard in our story mode, and we'll give you free goodies or some shit. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Single Dad's facial expression.
That means us carrying a bag of goodies around.
No.
and
Only
by
like
us,
a couple.
he means me.
Yeah. Got to make the disabled one carry all the heavy shit. Now,
that sounds about right.
you know, so yeah, Star Wars Galaxy Edge, Disneyland's been updated. If you haven't been there in a while, please do, and hit up Galaxy's Edge. It's a lot better than what you think. So that's my comments. Now on to the other conventions. Let's kick it over to Cosplay Jenemy because we haven't fucking seen her in for fucking ever. What was the convention you were at?
I went to SpaCon, which is in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and I hate the name of it because I have to explain it. It is just like every other pop culture con. It is not anything about baths.
Are you sure?
Could've
Sounds really relaxing.
That's what everyone says. They're like, oh, you're going to SpaCon? I'm like, yeah. They're like, wow, that sounds relaxing. And I'm like,
No.
not the way I do it.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, the last time I remember I was talking about a convention that Cosplay Jenemy was in, she said that she had only just gotten a couple hours of sleep. Like, she had been up for the whole con. And we're all like, damn, girl, you know how to party. What the fuck?
The convention itself was freaking amazing, like it always is. I was a little disappointed, like they weren't quite over the top with their vendors this year. This was their 4th year. And usually the vendors get like all the VIP treatments, but this year they were like, nope. And I was like, wait, that's sad, but oh well. That was the only downside, but the convention itself, it was a lot slower this year too. There wasn't quite as many people that I'm usually used to seeing there. I hope it picks back up because this convention, the location of it has like a potential to be a megacon because it's right on like there's like a strip of touristy stuff right outside the convention center.
Okay.
And then there's a bunch of hotels and there's a bunch of like bed and breakfasts in the area. There's something for everybody type thing.
Yes. This is Hot Springs or Little Rock?
Hot Springs.
Hot Springs, okay.
Yeah. So it's a much
Notice the
smaller
spa
town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's SpaCon in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Yeah, so I love going. I go with my best friend. I work at her booth, Galaxy Gear Boutique. Every year, we've gone since year 1.
I'm
And
going to show
wonder
up
if
to
it's the
SpaCon in just
name.
a towel.
I know, I kind of think it's probably part of the name that people
Because
get
everyone's like,
confused.
oh, it's a relaxing.
Is it an
vacation, it's a
acronym?
relaxing-"
Like,
No,
No, because it's
It's-
like springs.
Because it's in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
where all the spa.
I'm showing up in just a bathrobe and I'm going to walk around really confused
Well, as long as
the
you carry
whole
your towel,
time.
it makes sense.
Yeah, there you
Oh
go.
my gosh, can you go
Wish
to
they
that
did
and
most year.
like just a towel and like the Santa beard and the Santa hat?
No, I'm gonna show up as Cousin Eddie.
Well, I've got a year to grow my beard.
Nice.
What's hilarious is we've obviously we're trying to rehone this show and be more organized. And every time I wanted to ask a question about the con, you've pretty much answered it. Like I feel like you've
I know. My
How
notes.
dare you be good at this?
God damn it, taking my host job away from me. How many days is the con?
It's technically 3 days, but they do Friday is nothing with vendors or anything. It's just like opening ceremonies. And actually, they had a pretty good band this year. They try to get some YouTube sensation type band, and now I don't remember who it is, and now I feel awful. But they dress up and everything, and like these major builds, even.
I hope they find this show.
Was it Guar?
And I
Tell
hope
me it was
they
Guar.
listen to what you're
I
saying.
know they were
They were
freaking amazing. I'm gonna have to
but
look
I
them
don't
up. They
remember
were,
them.
all of my apps have moved around on my phone. My button on my phone doesn't work, and so every time I stick it in my pocket, I like press buttons and I move stuff. So now it's like every time I open my phone, I can't find anything.
That's just an excuse to say you've got a nice butt. Come on now.
Well,
Yeah,
he's
you're on my
not
second account.
wrong.
She's. I mean, what was your favorite experience at the con this weekend?
Oh, my favorite experience. I have no idea.
I'm gonna make sure to send these questions.
It's nothing convention worthy. Usually just me and my best friend go, and our number 3 got to come this year. So there was the 3 girls. So just all of us
Sounds
together.
like an amazing night. Hold up a second. What?
She's jealous. She didn't get to go.
It was
Sounds like she's
And-
more jealous she didn't get to come.
and I had some amazing
Amazing?
tacos.
Exactly.
Cyber Spree. The Cybertronic Spree. That's who they are. You have to look them up because they're kind of amazing. I did not expect them to be amazing. And they're like, I can't even I want to show you, except it's going to move. Of course, it goes to the next person. No, go back to them. There we go. Look, they're like full on,
Oh shit!
like super built.
Nice.
And they performed the whole time that way. They were amazing. Last year we had Froggy Fresh, and I don't know if you guys know who they are,
Nope.
but it wasn't as entertaining at all. So I wasn't actually expecting much when I went in.
Well, they weren't that fresh then.
So, they're YouTube people, and there was some people who were really excited about them, but they do their own little after parties, and they're really cute, I will say, but they don't last very long, and then it's over, and then me and my friends will hit up the strip and all the bars.
Phrasing.
Sounds
Phrasing
familiar.
so
They're really
much phrasing.
cute, but they don't last very long, and then it's over. So then you go to the bar.
Right? That's a
Quote of the day, right there.
Enemy.
Oh God.
And then of course we were up until all hours of the night because that's what we do. Actually, I had kind of not a great night Saturday night. I mean, it was mostly great until the end. When I walk outside, and for some reason, after getting in a push-up war and then running 3 blocks down the road, you're entirely way too sober for the rest of the evening.
Imagine that.
And so I'm like,
But your arms are fit though from all them push-ups. Yeah, girl.
And then
That's why they get drunk at night and do PT in the morning. It all makes sense now. It's the hangover cure.
hangover.
It really is. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yes.
So for our civilian listeners, this is a constant joke with the military that most enlisted get super fucking wasted at it doesn't matter if it's a weekday or the weekend, and then show up to PT either still too drunk or super hungover. They do PT and all of a sudden they feel better.
It's true. That works all the whatevers out, and then I was just kind of sitting there. I was like, okay, that's kind of.
That's a very drunk thing to say. All the whatevers out of your system.
You got it.
The other questions are in the group chat now, FYI.
Oh God. Yay.
Well, let me go check the interwebs then.
The
Yes,
webs
please
of
do.
inter.
Oh, that's me. I looked up a picture of me.
I
Okay,
thought you
so
were saying you were the webs of inter.
I am.
Ah.
Oh, let's see. My least favorite moment of the convention was not during the convention, but Saturday night, as I was about to explain, as I am incredibly too sober for 1 o'clock in the morning. And I walk out, we were walking to the next bar, and then I see one of my friends who I was hanging out with. We had gone to dinner with, we did the after party with, and then he disappeared, and then he was there again, and he was sitting on a bench just randomly in the middle of the street. And I go over and I sit next to him. I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, good. I'm just debating on going home. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, so nobody will have to see me again. And I was like, whoa!
Time out.
Time out. So the rest of my night was making sure this guy did not go home and kill himself.
Wow. Way to transition to a plug of the 22 initiative.
And so
Dang.
we need that for our cosplayer friends too, it seems.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, I spent the last hour and a half with him, and we were walking and talking and having all these discussions. And I was trying not to take half the things he said about me seriously, but he was a little hurtful a couple times. But I was right there in that moment. I was emotionally okay to take. I was emotionally stable, and I was okay. I took everything. I walked with him. I got him promising he would seek counseling, and he went home, and I talked to him the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and I'm still reaching out to him. So
That's so good though. Sometimes
Yes.
at the oddest moments, you have to kind of rise up and be a hero, and you got to do that. So thank you for saving somebody's life.
And so I feel like those push-ups and the running 3 blocks. I'm way too competitive, by the way. So the push-ups were because all of these really buff guys. I mean, I showed you guys the picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 3
Yeah.
guys who were like with me were like these decent-sized guys. Like definitely spend a lot of time in the gym, and I did not lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Represent.
But I did not lose. There was another guy that went out before me. So I came in 3rd out of 5. 4.
We're
Third out of-
number 3. We're number 3.
3. Here's your participation trophy.
I'll take it. Give me that.
Why? So you can sell it for money?
So I can put it on my wall with all the rest of my
Yeah.
stuff on the wall. That whole stack of vendor badges from every con
Yes.
I do.
She puts it on the wall. Yeah, put something on the wall. Cut to her, put it on the wall. It's the only thing on the wall. It's like, finally.
I keep telling my best friend every time I visit her that I'm gonna make a employee of the month sign, and I'm gonna just hang it on her wall with a picture of me. I keep forgetting until like the day before I go, and I'm like, I forgot to do this. One day.
Oh, dang.
I need to do that for all the jobs that I hated being at, and just show up when no one's around and just put it up on the fucking wall and then let them just go, what the fuck?
That's what I want to do to her. Just hang it up. See how long it stays there. It'll probably stay there forever because she'd probably love it. But let's see. My favorite cosplay that I saw. There was a freaking amazing Bumblebee, but he's there every year, so it's not like a new thing. But I still think he's like the best Bumblebee I've ever seen. So yeah, I'm gonna go with him because he's awesome. He's like a million
trying
feet
to, like-
tall.
I was gonna shout yay, and then I burped.
I saw your face, but you were like,
I'm like,
Great.
oh, hold up, let me not burp on camera.
Reminds me of a certain moment.
Oh my god.
She forgets she's on camera a lot, which is funny because that's like what she does.
It was fun. So for the viewers who will know in the future, we have another video coming up where three of us got to, because hey, we're together. We need to make some content for
That's
YouTube.
what we do.
And
Aren't we doing that right now?
watching my
This doesn't count.
Yeah,
goddess.
this doesn't count.
Okay.
Watching my goddess jam in a car has to be the most entertaining, and not in a I'm in stitches laughing as I watch. More of a you're watching National Geographic, but it's still funny because you're just like, I'm so curious about everything I'm looking at right now. What is happening?
How has she made it this far in her life? Like, how does she function?
Purple crayons.
Nom nom.
Anyway, continue, cosplay Jeremy.
Well, that was all the questions. So, do you have more questions for me?
Was that it? I don't even know I can't answer any of these questions.
No.
So fuck them, Okay, yeah, that's it. All right, now to the ha, cut you off. No, I'm just kidding. Love you. Please don't leave me.
Just keep batting those eyes.
Right. Here's
One
your
thing I'm good at.
Back in my last.
here's your $80. All right. So now, okay, both of you went to the same con over the weekend, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
We're going to start with Mayan Goddess.
Why are you
What?
shaking your head no?
Because I didn't go.
You didn't go to our con, you went to your con.
Both
You need to come
implies
to our con.
I know, but he
Yeah.
said both. He said
Both-
both, but he
both
didn't say
implies-
name.
Both includes everybody. Just saying. You did not
Basically-
clarify, Mr. Boss Man, Mr. Name I forgot. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Tom.
Not unlike J4.
Just call people by their internet handles. It's much easier that way.
Hi, at.
What the fuck? Okay.
Oh,
Fine, guys, we're going to start with you. Name of the
Okay.
con.
So we were at Nerd Expo in Pasadena, California this weekend. It's hosted by Nerdbot Media. They have their own Nerdbot girls and all this, that, and the other, and they do great things for the community. And so they did this local event. It was nice. It was only one day. It was Saturday. And I was there with Kids Can Cosplay, which is kind of one of the charity groups that I work with. By the way, Nada Hepburn says hi to everyone, but she's got to bounce.
hey, Aubrey.
So I got the rare opportunity, and I actually got asked to be a cosplay judge, which I had never done before, and I'm so not qualified for it. It was a huge, humbling, but enlightening experience, and I had a blast just seeing all the cosplays. So that was probably one of my favorite moments. Also getting to see Russ and his kids, particularly Bubba, who cosplayed. That was really, really cute. And I was like, oh my god, this is adorable. So that was my favorite moment. My least favorite moment, if I really had to pick a least favorite, because everything that weekend was fairly good, I would say my least favorite was that I didn't see everybody. And so I got a lot of messages afterwards saying I didn't see you. You're too good for us. And I was like, I'm really sorry. I felt so bad. But it's kind of one of those things,
I've got an
and I
issue
do
with
have
that.
to explain. I do have to explain this. Russ, hi, Bubba. I was just talking.
Hi,
I
Bubba.
was just talking about him.
I did.
Oh, yay. So here's the thing about conventions, and this is kind of more on the side of etiquette as opposed to frustration. Well, when you're at a convention, at least for me, I go full dirt mode and I go, ooh, shiny, ooh, pretty colors. Oh my god, flashing lights. That's me. So I get easily distracted, so I don't really get to see everybody, and plans change all the time because there's just so much stuff to do. There's so many people to see. and something about Colonel Sanders. Apparently, that's what I look like. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's the commercial that was on TV.
Finally, someone said it. I didn't know how to approach this, but
What's that new game? Like meeting Colonel Sanders? Have you guys seen that? It's an app.
this is like Pokemon Go, but you have to walk
Oh,
around
wait,
and
let me
find
not
Colonel
hold my
Sanders.
credit
Like,
card
what's
up there in front of the.
Yeah, do that. Do it again.
Yes. Please give us your social as well.
Okay, much
What's
better.
your pin? What's your pin?
Oh, it's dating Colonel Sanders. Excuse
Yes.
This is my new how to travel around conventions.
That is really
Yep.
smart. I need something like that. Oh yeah, by the way, Ballsy says hello. So yeah, just a heads up, like if you for those who have never been to a convention or are learning about conventions, getting comfortable with conventions, just be aware sometimes the people you want to see, we might be busy eating purple crayons, but like I swear it's not because
Speak
we're
for
avoiding
yourself.
you, hating you. It's just because there's a lot of
Yep.
stuff to do. So
And I'll touch on that too when I speak.
okay,
yeah.
my favorite cosplay I saw. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so to chime in on that, I had a conversation with another person. I told them that we're doing a panel. I asked them to hook up on our YouTube channel because, as annoying as it is, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can post it all the live long day, but it's like, I feel like unless I directly message this person, it would mean the world to me if you can check this stuff out. They're not going to do it, and I had to do that and ranked a video on my channel up to all the way up to 58 views with 17 likes. I'm like, thank you. When I'm having a conversation with him about it, he goes, I don't know if I'm going to Emerald City Comic Con because I didn't get to do all the stuff I wanted to do last time I was there. And I told him, I'm like, listen, dude, here's my advice. When you go to a con, socialize almost on a minimal level. Go to a con to enjoy the con, because if you try to socialize, you're not going to be able to catch everybody. When people are there to just socialize, they take hurt feelings to it if you don't see them, and that's just not fair. So yeah, I agree. If you go into a con,
I mean, I go to a con
I
to
disagree.
socialize, and
Yeah,
I have my small group of people that I will be with, or I will know where they are. The
Yeah.
people who I know will have booths, or will have cosplay booths, and I bounce between those, and I kind of.
What I'm trying to actually convey is, go to the con for you.
Yes.
Well, absolutely.
Like, don't try and make everyone happy.
Oh god.
Yeah.
If you do want to hook up with somebody, not hook up, but
You had me at hook up. Go on. Go on. Go on.
then you have to, like, previously, like, before you go, you have to be like, hey, we're going to get together. And then when you're there, you have to say, hey, this is what we're going to do, when we're going to meet, how, everything has to be.
This is where I am.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you have
And
you have to
understand
realize-
that might change 2 minutes later.
yeah, and a lot of
Yes.
times signal doesn't work the best.
Yep.
And so you have to be like, you can't be like, hey, I'm here right this second. You have to send a message and be like, okay, in 15 minutes, I am heading in this direction. And so it's got to be like these coordinations that, hey, I'm going to be at this booth. Find me at this booth. I'm going to be there for
And
the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's the best way to find somebody, is if you have connection inside the con and you can message. If you have a booth that's a central location, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, because I get really aggravated when I'm working a booth, and that's pretty much where I'm at the entire time. And somebody's like, I didn't see you. And I'm like, I posted on my page 40 times that I was at this booth.
Yeah, I had that happen too this weekend.
I mean, I know you just said you were working with a group. Well, did they check the group that you were with? I mean, I feel like me, when I go, I'm pretty central. There's always going to be a spot where I am located most of the time.
Right, because you need everyone to come to you, because you're the center.
Of the
Say
universe.
that with
Yes, she is.
love, because you are the center of our universe.
I was
Yes,
gonna say,
you
can
are.
say anything offensive because,
I don't know how to put my hand connected to your
I know,
hand.
I was
at
like,
the moment.
that-
Like, which way is it going to appear?
See, this just
over
looks like
on
I'm showcasing
YouTube?
my nails. Like,
I mean,
hey
that's
girl,
like
check
somebody
these
colored-
four
That's
figures
a-
out.
That's a really weird way to give someone a hand job there. Just letting you know.
I mean, Tom Cruise. It was kind of like you saying that I was a nerd. I mean,
I know, it's so weird, right? Unheard of.
Oh, wait a second. We've got an update. Ballsy says the official name of that app is called I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator.
Yes.
So I would like to also note that when I did this, it is because his name is Balls, and I wanted him to know that I am cradling his balls.
Oh, that's very
Ask me about my wiener.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, so
I hope he gets a kick out of that.
at one of the bars that I went to, my friends were talking to this guy, and I hadn't been there. I was outside. I came back in, and the first words out of this dude's mouth was, "I have a 12-inch cock." I was like, I didn't ask.
Okay, well, I would just like to note for the record, I went, ugh, and then I look up and I see just this plain expressions on the other two faces, just going, what?
Like, wait a second.
That's the conversational equivalent of a dick pic.
Yes, and I was just like, and then he was like, "I would break you in half." I was like, "Well, I wouldn't let you near me, so."
We are getting to 20.
You know what I say when people tell me that?
People tell you that all the time.
And I'm like super uncomfortable. I was like, oh, hope you like getting used to herpes, like, or something weird like that. And then usually they're like, and then just walk off.
I mean,
the best defense is a great offense.
I was like up there next to, hey, I'm a pilot.
The girls are talking about junk, okay?
Well,
let them do it.
We've got 20 minutes before this podcast has to end.
Oh,
so.
Okay.
And?
I can admit
I feel
one
like
thing.
we never have good ones when I'm on because I derail a lot.
We're so easy at distraction. Okay, so you asked a question about best costume.
Oh, turn that down, Bubba.
Correct.
Okay, so because I got to be a judge, I can actually do this now.
Yeah.
She's like, the best one.
It was crazy. No, so my personal favorite, there were two, and one of them didn't win, and I was really sad about it. There was a kid who was in a wheelchair, and her wheelchair was a tie bomber.
Yes.
Nice.
And that was really cool. And my favorite part about that story was that she like had been going through surgery and stuff like that, like crazy. And this was her first week out of containment.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yes.
So we're like, okay, you're awesome. You're cool. And then there was an adult who was dressed up like if Jack Skellington had designed Stitch, is the best way I can describe it.
Yes.
It was like Stitch, but it was creepy as fuck.
All
and
stitched up. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all stitched up.
Okay, so what's that movie? The little burlap kid on Halloween, not the Halloween movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
The burlap kid?
You know what I'm talking about? It's a scary movie. It's got
whoa!
You know
where he has the sucker,
the orange. Yeah,
he's got the pumpkin head, right? Yeah, it's it's a series of different stories.
Yes,
and
so
they're all
know
connected
what I'm
into
talking
one town. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
This. Okay, think of that as Stitch.
Wow.
I mean, it was amazing.
Keep going, Mayan Goddess. I'm gonna look for the name of the movie so that the listeners understand what the hell he's talking about.
Okay. But yeah, that was it. That was like seeing him walk on the stage, and he even had like mannerisms and everything. I was just like, this is amazing. But the adults that won were all they were all professors from Harry Potter, and like they got pretty down to the details too. Like the guy who's dressed up as Gilderoy Lockhart had a book of himself, but it had like a video of him like doing this thing, but like on replay. So I was like, that's pretty cool. But yeah, so that was a really fun experience. Yes.
Movie is like, Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, that's cool.
Oh, thank you, Ballsy. So yeah, like imagine that, but Stitch. It was really cool. So yeah, that was my Saturday. How was yours?
Yeah, now we turn it over to Single Dad now.
turn
Okay,
this
so
into
I
a
can
400
completely
time.
skip the name of the con. About the con, I gotta say I really enjoy it because it's not like a normal con. It is more of an experience. I mean, there's live music there. They've got a band there or a DJ playing the entire time. They really don't have that many vendors. It's literally, I mean, one of the most cosplayer centric cons that I've been to. It's a small con, but it has enough to be a medium sized con. So I would really like for them to kind of expand next year because they've been in the same hall. I think they could move over to the other hall in Pasadena and fill it easily. They've got that good word of mouth. And then favorite moment of the con, always it's going to be this was my son's first time competing in a cosplay contest. Yes, mine got to judge my son. This one
Hold
right
on.
here.
And she didn't pick him as the winner? What?
He didn't have the best cosplay. I will agree. He looked great and everything like that, but there were those that were there that outdid him. He's saying it right here. The TIE Fighter definitely deserved it. I don't know if you can hear him or not.
Yes, actually.
I heard him.
Yeah, we heard him that time.
So yeah, no. My favorite event that for me as a dad, seeing my son getting up on stage and doing his thing, he was having fun. He was enjoying it. It wasn't like I was like dressing him up and forcing him to go up there. He went up there. He wanted to do it. So that was my favorite moment.
Here's an example. Here's the kid who won second place. If it'll go in.
I know that kid. That's Logan.
Yep.
I freaking love him. It brightens my day every day if I ever post something Deadpool related and he hits like on my posts. Apparently his dad and he are huge fans of mine, and they really wish they could meet me because apparently Logan's dream is to meet all the best Deadpool cosplayers that are out there and get photos with them.
So why does he want to meet you?
Because unlike every typical Deadpool cosplayer, I don't rock just the movie suit. Sorry, I have salt in that category, and we'll get to that at another point in time. Continue.
Least favorite moment, I'm gonna say this has absolutely nothing to do with the con itself. This has to do with the staff of the Pasadena Convention Center. They're extremely rude. They're extremely forceful and everything like that. When the time came to close up, it was the con ended at 5, and 5 o'clock on the dot, they were like, "You have a green wristband on. You need to make your way to the exit." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And so I'm making my way, and I'm going a circuitous route because I've got one of my children, but not both. One of them is with a friend of mine, and I'm trying to call them, and they're not answering their phone. Mm-hmm. And so this kid, probably 19, 20 years old, comes up to me. He's like, "Sir, you really need to be leaving. You should not be here anymore. I need you to leave now." I'm like, "I'm looking for my fucking kid."
Yeah,
leave me alone. They were extremely rude.
Yeah, I would actually agree with that. Even though I had a red wristband because I was working the booths, it was kind of one of those things where they're like, "Let me see your wrist," and we're just like, "I swear I'm not cutting."
They're not, and I mean they weren't being like polite about it or even like businesslike about it. They were being, rude and forceful. So I mean, if they'd handled it in a professional manner and then just been, okay, cool. But no, they were being jerks. Favorite cosplay I saw, the Stitch was awesome. There were a lot of really, really good ones. The Hogwarts group won, and rightfully so. I love that entire group. I know them all. But yeah, no. One of the things that I really love is the intricacy and detail of some of the Dungeons and Dragons cosplayers, because there were a bunch of people.
Yes.
And from Vox Machina and Critical Role there, and I just the attention to detail, and I've followed some of them before, but then I'm now following all of them because like the amount of time and prep and research they do I mean, even into like the stitch patterns of their cosplays. I mean, what material they're using, the lining, every little thing goes down into it. So I really respect their craft and love what they do. So there.
Yay.
Yay! All right, and with 10 minutes to spare, dance party. No, I'm just kidding.
Check out this little moment. Can you see him? Oh,
No.
There's
I
my.
see
Oh,
Single
yes.
Dad's
Dad, like
bald
really
head
well.
is way too bright for me to be able to see.
It's my phone.
Oh,
I
sorry.
got
Here,
that-
hold on.
Oh, yeah. Look, there he is. There he is.
Oh, that's
How's
bad.
that?
Now my
Oh, no, it's
pasty
you.
face is in the way.
It's my phone because I got a reflective cover on it.
Why?
So other people can't look at her phone.
Yeah,
No, so
like
I
right
it's
now.
a mirror when I have it off.
I need to get one of those.
Except for, unfortunately, I have a Face ID. So now when I'm like, oh, let me check out my mirror, my phone turns on.
Joke's on you.
I know, I did not think that through very well.
Real quick though, Russ, you mentioned the thing on Saturday. You said NostalgiaCon, but you mentioned the thing on Saturday. Where is that at? And if people want to go, where can we get information about that?
Okay, so real quick on that. This Saturday, I am the photographer for 40s on the Fantail, which is a fundraising event for Mission 22. It's happening in San Pedro, aka Long Beach, California. It's actually happening on the USS Iowa battleship. Tickets are available if you 40s on the Fantail, FANTAIL.com. 40s is the numerals 40S on the Fantail. Facebook, Instagram, I've been posting about it on both of those, or you can go directly to the website. Tickets are on sale now. If you use the code Temple of Geek 20, you can get 20% off up until Friday at midnight. What it is it's a nostalgic kind of romp. We've got swing bands, we've got swing dancers, and it's also a food, wine festival and beer tasting. It's goes on 5 to 10 p.m. Saturday the 28th. And the proceeds go to benefit Mission 22, which is a nonprofit organization that helps out with veterans' mental health issues as well as suicide prevention. So, really looking forward to this event.
This. My first little thing.
Aww.
Yay!
Except it's not
I'm
going to
dressed-
look like an apron, but yeah.
I will be dressed up as a 1940s era reporter. I've got my little fedora with my press badge and the hat as well, since
Oh my
I will
God,
be going.
I have a 1940s Lois Lane.
See, you should have. So Mayan, if you've got an extra badge, would you mind giving it to Cosplay Genevieve so she can fly out here for the
You're gonna
event
pay
on
for my
Saturday?
plane ticket and,
Yes.
We
Yes.
can
Yes.
slowly but surely
and
start
send somebody
beating
to my
each other.
work for me on Saturday.
We love you. We know where you
will work
work.
for you. I will put on a red wig. I will wear a bra and stuff it. I will stuff my pants as well so that my butt looks nicer.
That's right.
Um,
The back side
And
of
just
the front,
remember,
not the front side.
your phone will only work in the bathroom.
It doesn't work in the bathroom. That's what I said. It does not work in the bathroom.
Oh,
Lots of
darn.
questions.
No pictures of the toilet. No more pictures of her poop. Oh, darn.
Oh, more.
Those are the ones that I look forward to. Okay, don't kink shame me.
Don't kink shame.
You fecal philiacs. www.rapemypoo.com. Just saying.
Is that
Boom.
where she got tickets? No kidding.
Right, there's gonna be some confused listeners for a second, and then you're like, "Oh, okay. Where do I get the tickets? All I see is pictures of poop. What's happening right now?" Yeah.
So if you log on, go to my Instagram or to my Facebook page. I've got the links there. I've been posting about it. I've got multiple posts on both of my single dad and my photography page, Point Blank Shot Photography, on Instagram and Facebook. So go to either of those. I've got the links there. Yes.
Which, by the way, another shout out to Single Dad here for our event with Disneyland, because both Ruby Echo and I kind of just looked back at each other after this one shot during Smuggler's Run, and we both looked at each other and just said, I get why they call him, or he calls himself, point blank shot photography, because I've seen a lot of really great photographers, but I've never seen a photographer so fast, just looking around, he's keeping his eye out, and goes, oh, hey, and then tells you, get right there, do this, pose, and then takes your photo a couple of times, and then it's done. And they're freaking perfect. They're amazing shots. It's effortless. I'm like, now I know why he calls himself point blank shot photography. This is great.
I love you guys. I wish you knew the way my mind worked. I'm constantly framing stuff.
You know, there are times
incredible,
that I want to, and then there's other times where I'm fearful to know what goes on in that brain.
My brain does the same thing, except for I try to figure out how to get myself into the picture, and so then I'm like giving somebody else my camera, and I'm like, stand here. No, point the camera. I'm gonna be right here.
As she hits her own camera just now.
She's like, I'm getting the right frame for this, okay?
That was fucking
I'm
awesome.
framing my workspace.
And then
So, yeah.
I'm like, and I'm trying to get me in the middle of it, and then nobody ever has the same eye as me.
I do the same thing.
I'm a derp. I show up and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna like try and not be derpish for about 5 minutes, and then
There's
and then it doesn't work.
only 2 people in this podcast I haven't worked with yet.
Yep.
Just saying.
And you'll get a chance to at least work with one of them for sure during, as we plug, Emerald City Comic Con.
Yeah.
Tickets will. It's not happening.
I said it's not me.
Oh.
I was letting people know that it wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, tickets go on sale October 20th.
As long as you're at WonderCon, I'm happy.
I'm
going to try for that one.
letting everybody know those things are going to sell out like hotcakes, so make sure you're ready for it. We submitted to do a panel. I think I'm just going to call it like I see it. If they don't like it, then they can, reflect on themselves. But I think it is kind of a little weird that they want you to submit for all these different things, pro badges, panels, an exhibitor's spot. And tickets go on sale in October, and you won't know if you're guaranteed anything until December. So I'm going to say this. The only reason why I'm going to Emerald City Comic Con next year is to be with these amazing nerds. Otherwise, I'm probably going to stop going. ReedPop as a whole has totally ruined the con experience. But I will note that there are people who are still trying to make it a fun experience, and God bless them because they do a successful job. If you go through the con, you go to the artist alley and the area where they sell all the comics, you're going to have a fantastic time because there's some fantastic artists who come from all over the world to come out to Emerald City Comic Con and showcase their stuff. And they got some great things. They're fantastic people to talk to. The comic vendors are always enthusiastic about selling comics. The collectibles section of the con, they're great people too. Essentially, most of them are just old and no longer need their collectibles, so they're selling them to people who not only would appreciate them but will take care of them better. So, not to sound morbid, but it was a conversation I had with this one shop. I'm like, do you have a shop? And he goes, no, this is all the stuff I keep in my garage. I'm just trying to sell it because I don't need them anymore. I'm getting too old for this, and I need the money. And I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. And yeah, it's fantastic. He was a great person. So Emerald City Comic Con, we're trying to do a panel. If we don't get a panel, rest assured we will all be, most of us will be there. Come say hello. We are giving out some really cool prizes and cool goodies if you come meet us. So be prepared for that. They were called prints and t-shirts alike, so that'll be fucking awesome. And then speaking of conventions, of course, always to chime in, WonderCon.
Yeah.
What up?
Panel or
hope you've got your room reserved.
Oh, me? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did. We actually found a hotel that's family owned, and it was extremely cheap for the entire week that I am there because I'm going to Disneyland prior. Because, reasons. It's right there.
Well,
It's
yeah.
right there.
It's right there.
Because
You
have
have
to?
no idea. I mean, we
It
is
were
right
driving
there.
around. We drove past the convention center.
Yeah,
going
when
through
we
the parking
were
garage.
when we were going to the
I have
parking
no idea.
garage, we took a minute at a red light, and Single Dad goes, "So look down that street," and I go, "Okay." He goes, "There it is. That's WonderCon." And I go, "What the fuck?" We are like what 2.5 blocks away
Yeah.
from the parking garage. So like it is literally across the street because the fence and the wall and
The fence for
whatnot
Disneyland,
for
yeah.
Disneyland is literally right there. So there's no sugarcoating. It's right there. So yeah, WonderCon. Another small little plug before we shut this bad boy down for the night. I am doing an event. I'm going to be representing Geek Boots for the event. This is a veterans initiative to get the veteran community to branch out and kind of network and meet more veterans, and I desperately need this in my area, so I'm going. And when I told them, hey, would you like it if I brought my Captain America shield, and they're like, does the Pope wear a funny hat? Get your butt over here. So I'm going. Check out the Facebook event. Hold on as I try and get my phone to turn back on. I'm so not prepared. Shame on me.
Hey, hey, hey.
I don't know what that last one was, but okay. Combined Veteran Services. If you check that out on Facebook, the event's December 4th. Or not December, sorry. Whoops. October 4th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's at Axe Kickers. You have the option to not throw an axe or the option to throw an axe and be a total badass. It's in Seattle. If you are a listener of this podcast show and you live in Washington and you want to come meet other veterans, fucking come hang out. I'll be there to talk about nerdy shit and just talk about being a veteran. Just, mingle. It'll be fun. So come hang out. Yeah, I think that's all the shout outs that we've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. I am your host, Tom Cruise Cosplay. With me tonight was Cosplay Jenemy. We miss her lovely face.
So good to be here.
Mayan Goddess. And Single Dad.
Deuces.
This is Geek Boots. See you all next week. And in the honor of J4, deuces. Toodles.
I'm Deuces. He's
Deuces.
Toodles.
Hold on.
Holy crap.
Hold on.
You suck at this.
I
You're
was
a
like,
horrible
nope.
manager.
I
You're a
was like,
horrible boss.
Note for the record, it's because he hasn't been on in like 3 weeks.
It's okay.
I'm pretty sure I haven't been on longer than he's been on.
That is fair. Like, you had a good stint, too.
I did.
You were on for, like, every single episode. Everyone else was the one where, like, sorry, I can't make it. All of a sudden, what the fuck
I
happened to
do all
Cosplay
my,
Jenemy?
I do mine in one chunk. I got a job.
Right? All right.